Switzerland is more than mountains and chocolate. Behind its peaceful image lies a powerful story of rebellion, strategy, culture, and quiet influence. From feared warriors to world-class diplomats, this nation rose without an empire. Stay with us as we uncover how Switzerland shaped history without ever firing a shot. The birth of a confederation, from farmers to fighters, 1300 to 1500. Switzerland did not begin as a powerful nation. It began as a quiet alliance between mountain communities. In 1291, the cantons of Uri, Schwaz, and Unterwalden came together in a pact to defend themselves against the expanding power of the Habsburg Empire. These were simple farmers and herders, but they understood the value of unity. Over the next 2 centuries, more cantons joined, forming what became known as the Old Swiss Confederacy. They had no king, no central ruler, just shared promises and fierce loyalty to one another. Despite being outnumbered, Swiss fighters earned a reputation across Europe for their courage and discipline, especially after their surprise victory at the Battle of Morgarten in 1315. That moment marked the beginning of Swiss independence and military pride. Over time, their warriors became sought-eater mercenaries across the continent. What started as defense turned into influence and the foundation of a nation that would choose unity and freedom over domination. The rise of Swiss power, mercenaries, trade, and neutrality. As Europe was torn apart by religious wars and dynastic struggles, Switzerland carved its own path. While larger nations fought to expand empires, the Swiss focused on survival, trade, and precision. One major source of power came from their soldiers. Disciplined, fearless, and loyal, Swiss mercenaries became the elite choice for European monarchs, and their services were in high demand. Even today, the Swiss Guard protects the Pope in Vatican City, a legacy of this era. At the same time, the Swiss controlled important Alpine trade routes, collecting tolls and growing wealthy through commerce. Cities like Zurich and Basel became financial hubs. But what truly set Switzerland apart was its early decision to stay neutral. While others fought, the Swiss remained on the sidelines, silent but watching. This neutrality was not weakness, it was strategy. By avoiding war, they preserved their people, wealth, and infrastructure, slowly rising in power while others crumbled around them. A fall without war, Napoleonic invasion, and the Helvetic collapse. Switzerland's fall did not come through battlefields or betrayal. It came through ideals and forced change. In 1798, during the rise of Napoleon, French revolutionary forces invaded Switzerland and dismantled its centuries-old confederation. The country was turned into the Helvetic Republic, a centralized state controlled by the French. For the Swiss, this was a complete shock. They lost their local autonomy, their centuries-old system of cantons, and were now ruled by foreign ideas of governance. This new republic brought instability and civil unrest. People who once governed themselves now found their voices ignored. Although the Helvetic Republic only lasted a few years, the damage was deep. When Napoleon fell, the Congress of Vienna in 1815 restored Swiss independence, but on the condition that they remain permanently neutral. This was the price of their freedom. The fall was not a military defeat. It was a political transformation that forever reshaped Switzerland's identity, values, and its place in European history. Cities frozen in time: Bern, Lucerne, and Geneva. Switzerland's cities are more than beautiful, they are living museums. Bern, the capital, still holds its medieval charm with narrow cobbled streets, arched walkways, and the Zittglogge clock tower, taking since the 1400s. It is a place where time moves slowly, intentionally. Lucerne, nestled between a serene lake and dramatic mountains, boasts the iconic Chapel Bridge, one of the oldest wooden-covered bridges in Europe. It feels like walking through a storybook. Geneva, on the other hand, stands as a symbol of international diplomacy. It is home to the United Nations headquarters in Europe and the birthplace of the Red Cross. While Bern tells tales of old Swiss pride and Lucerne whispers stories of art and music, Geneva speaks the language of peace and global influence. These cities reflect Switzerland's past and present, rich with history, yet deeply connected to the world. They are not just destinations, they are expressions of the Swiss soul. Culture beyond cliché, languages, art, and precision. Swiss culture is often reduced to chocolate, watches, and mountains, but there is so much more. Switzerland is one of the few nations with 4 national languages: German, French, Italian, and Romansh. Each region carries its own traditions, cuisines, and festivals, yet all blend into one identity. In the early 20th century, Zurich became the birthplace of Dadaism, a radical art movement born from war weariness and political skepticism. The Swiss are also masters of functional beauty, seen in their design, architecture, and world-famous watches. But beyond aesthetics lies a national mindset: perfection in small things. Swiss chocolate is not just sweet, it is engineered for texture and balance. Swiss trains do not just arrive, they arrive precisely on time. Even neutrality is part of this cultural blueprint: calculated, measured, and intentional. Swiss culture is quiet, disciplined, and deeply layered. It is not about showing off, it is about showing up, reliably, beautifully, every single time. Hidden diversity, minorities, and regional autonomy. Though Switzerland often appears uniform and peaceful, its internal dynamics are far more complex. Each canton holds unique authority, and regions like Jura have even fought politically for separation, gaining autonomy in 1979. The canton of Ticino, bordering Italy, is culturally and linguistically different from Zurich or Basel. These aren't just tourist variations, they are deeply rooted local identities. Over the years, immigration has added more layers. Workers from Portugal, Sri Lanka, Kosovo, Turkey, and Eritrea now live and contribute to Swiss society. Refugees fleeing war found quiet homes in small towns, building lives while adapting to Swiss direct democracy. The Swiss system lets even small communities vote on local and national issues. But integration hasn't always been smooth. Icons of the nation, athletes, artists, and innovators. Switzerland may be small, but it has produced giants across many fields. In sports, Roger Federer stands out not just for his tennis achievements, but for embodying grace, humility, and global respect. In skiing, the Swiss have long dominated alpine competitions, but their excellence extends far beyond athletics. Albert Einstein developed the theory of relativity while working at the patent office in Bern. Carl Jung, one of the founding fathers of psychology, shaped modern understanding of the mind from his Swiss home. In film, Ursula Andress, famously the first Bond girl, brought Swiss elegance to Hollywood. Le Corbusier, born in the Jura Mountains, revolutionized architecture worldwide. Even Tina Turner, later in life, chose to settle in Switzerland, drawn by its calm and privacy. These figures aren't loud national icons, they reflect Swiss values, precision, innovation, and quiet impact. Their work reached the world, but their roots stayed anchored in the mountain soil of a nation that quietly shapes greatness. Switzerland's story is one of silence, strength, and surprising power. A nation that chose peace, but never weakness. If you enjoyed this journey, hit subscribe and share your thoughts below. Which country's untold past should we explore next? Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the quietest places hold the loudest truths.